Hello again, everybody. First week of playoffs for MHSAA football. We'll go with week 10 in our video here. Playoffs are always fun. The weather is changing, and what did you say? We're going to get some potential precipitation this week?
Friday should be good.
Okay.
Should get the games in. Maybe some light weather.
Mm-hmm.
Saturday, we'll have to see if the weather clears out in time for Saturday games.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be close. We might be dodging some snowflakes.
That's the way it goes, I guess. How'd we do last week?
Everybody went 8-2.
Okay.
Real simple. Although it wasn't exactly the same,
Okay.
but you won on the Centerville-Mendon game by picking, you picked Mendon,
Mhm.
whereas the Twitter folk and I picked Centerville.
Close game.
It was
tough game.
3-0,
Yep.
yep. And on the other side, you had picked Vandercook Lake, but Twitter folk and I
Yep.
picked Bronson. So that's how we all got to 8-2.
Okay.
And overall for the year, you've still got a 1-game lead. You're at 74-16. I'm at 73-17. Twitter 71-19.
Not bad.
This
Not
week
bad.
we'll only have 5 picks
Yep.
because we have 5 teams in the playoffs.
That's right. Where do you want to start?
Now let's start down in Division 8.
Okay.
We got 2 teams in Division 8.
Mhm.
We got Mendon traveling to Reading and White Pigeon traveling to Cass.
Yep.
Both teams are in the same district. Winners will face each other.
Mm-hmm.
Mendon 7-2. Reading is 8-1.
Yep.
This will be the first time these two teams, who are usually in the playoffs, Mendon a little bit more than Reading,
Mhm.
have met since 1993.
Many moons.
Many moons. They've only faced each other 3 times, all in the playoffs. They've never played in the regular season.
That's interesting.
Anyhow, Reading, their only loss came to Palma, Westphalia,
Mm-hmm.
who made it to the regional finals last year, and then the previous 2 years was a D7 state champion.
Mm-hmm.
So Reading had their 1 loss, 14-0. Mendon has lost to Cassopolis, and they lost to White Pigeon.
Mm-hmm.
So both playoff
Playoff
teams.
teams, yeah.
The other 2 teams in the district, basically. I think this was going to be a close one. Mendon, it's the second season. They know what they're getting up for.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Reading will take them lightly. I think Reading knows Mendon's tradition, but this is one of those games where even though Mendon's going to be the underdog, this would be the one that they would get.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm still going to go with Reading 16-14.
Yeah, I think them playing at home here is really a big benefactor for Reading here. And if you're reading and you're watching, the MHSAA watch party on Fox Sports Detroit Plus, and the screen pops up and Mendon is across the line from you, I gotta think your first thought is, give us somebody else, kind of thing, But I think Reading at home, they've been tough. Apparently, they're a lot bigger than what they've been in the past. They have a good size team and some good side kids there, from what I've been told. So I'm going to take Reading as well at home. I'm going to go, 22-14 type game. It'll be low scoring because Mendon can play defense.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got to think that they're going to come in there thinking that they got a shot. So I'll take Reading 22-14. Close game.
Mm-hmm. Other side, we got White Pigeon traveling over to Ross Beatty
Mhm.
to play Cassopolis. Cass beat Pigeon earlier this year, 41-0.
Yep.
And Cass has pretty much held the edge in this series, winning most of the games they played. In fact, White Pigeon hasn't won since 1984 in this series, so it's been a long time. I think since that game against Cass, I think White Pigeon's defense has gotten better.
Mm-hmm.
I think they'll be able to slow Cass down a little bit, but I think just overall the talent at Cassopolis is going to get them a win. They get a couple second half scores and come away with a 21-7 win.
Yeah, another example of playing at home, I think is really going to help Cass. They're 9-0 for a reason. What do you do?
Mhm.
Got you in the regular season, but I'd like to see White Pigeon kind of put some first downs together and kind of take the clock, down as much as they can, kind of keep the football away from
Mhm.
Cass. But I think Cass too tough at home.
Mhm.
I'm going to take them 26-20 over White Pigeon.
And by the way, this is the first time these two teams have ever met in the playoffs.
Interesting. Would not have guessed that either.
Yep. Well, we'll move up to D7, and we have Centerville traveling to Lawton. Centerville comes in 6-3. Lawton is undefeated at 9-0. These teams have met again a long time ago. It was during the regular season. Centerville beat. Most recent time was 1987, and the only 3 times they played, Centerville has won all 3 games. Obviously, long time ago. You were probably in elementary school.
Many
then.
moons.
I was out of school, but you were probably in elementary school. Taking a look at things, I think even though Lawton's 9-0, you look at who they played, there's not a single team that they played this year that has a winning record. There were like 3, 4, and 5 teams like Fenville and Saugatuck.
That makes a difference.
Centerville, they've lost to some tough teams,
Right.
but they've played them close. I mean,
Right.
last week they lost by a field goal to a playoff team.
That's right.
So they lost to Cass, playoff
Playoff
team.
team.
Their other loss was to
White Pigeon.
White Pigeon, playoff team. So Centerville, I think, has played probably a slightly tougher schedule.
Oh, I would agree. Yeah.
Mhm.
I would agree.
I mean, White Pigeon played Gobles, who's in the same division as Lawton. White Pigeon knocked off Gobles earlier this year. I'm thinking Centerville's going to go up north, and it's going to be low scoring, hard fought. And if they can bring the physicality that Tyler likes to look for, they were physical against Mendon last week, but
Yeah.
he felt Mendon was tougher.
Just a little bit, at
Yeah.
times. So.
So if Centerville can turn it up a notch, and I think they will, 14-8, I'm picking the
I'm
Bulldogs.
going to take Centerville as well. Just schedule, as you mentioned, running the same play, or what appears to be the same play over and over again. And I think that was in your story
Yep.
that Tyler mentioned. It looks the same every time, so you can kind of lull the defense into thinking, okay, here's what I got to do, here's what I got to do, here's what I got to do. Oh, there's Sam Todd running the opposite way on a counter, or Centerville calling the right plays at the right time. I think is going to be key for them. And Lawton doesn't want to hear any of this about how we don't think they're any good and how they haven't played a winning team, whatever. They're 9-0, and obviously they earned that, and that's great for them.
Play who's on your schedule.
I think Centerville's better. So I'm going to take Centerville 20-14.
Going to D6, we got Constantine traveling down US 12 to play Niles Brandywine. First time these two schools have ever met.
Another one that's kind of surprising. But good job by the state kind of piecing those together. That's kind of neat.
Yeah, and with some upcoming changes in the area to schools moving around, maybe they will.
Could be.
They'll see this game and say, hey,
Yeah.
this was kind of a good matchup against
It's possible.
two decent teams. Brandywine comes in ranked second. At 9-0, Constantine 7-2. Their 2 losses are to Schoolcraft and Bering Springs by a total of 8 points, 3 against one, 5 against the other,
Yeah.
and they had chances to
Chances to
win
win
both
both games. That's right.
games. Bounce here, bounce there. Yeah, we could have 2 9-0 teams,
That's right.
and probably based on the schedule, Constantine would have been home then.
Yeah.
But either way, looking at the schedule, again, Brandywine 9-0. 1 playoff team on their schedule.
Yeah. And
That
as you
was-
mentioned, it's not their fault.
It's not their fault.
It's just the way it goes.
Yeah, the teams they had scheduled, Saugatuck they had on their schedule. Saugatuck's been good
Yes.
last few years. This year, not so good.
Right.
The 1 playoff team was Grand Rapids North Point Christian, which you might recognize. Team Centerville played a few
Centerville
a few weeks
Centerville
ago.
beat them. Probably helped them get in at
Yeah.
6-3.
Yeah. And North Point Christian has 3 losses. They're 6-3. They lost to Centerville. They lost to Brandywine. They lost to another playoff team, and
Right.
Adrian Langley Christian. So, North Point's a decent team, but again, Centerville beat them. Brandywine did beat them more, 31-8. Again, And looking at just the way the points have fallen, Brandywine's given up a lot of points the last couple games,
Yep.
2 sub-500
That's right.
teams. I'm thinking that's going to be, of all the games
Yep.
that are close, I think this is going to be a lot more high scoring. I think Constantine holds on to the ball. They've been doing better the last few weeks.
Oh yeah.
And they come home with a 35-28 win.
I'm gonna take Constantine as well, man. I just think that if they can hang on to the football and move it up and down the field, now Brandywine's gonna get tired of tackling the same kids over and over again. It just happens when you play Constantine. I'm gonna take them 41-24 Falcons. Just they're gonna find a way to get the. It feels that way.
Mm-hmm.
They're primed for the ability to get out of bus, go over there and win a game. So I'm
Mhm.
gonna take the Falcons.
Then in 8-man,
Mhm.
we have Camden Frontier coming to Colon.
Yep.
Frontier 6-3, Colon of course undefeated.
Yep.
They played in the regular season. It was 51-0. Last year they met twice as well.
Mhm.
Colon won during the regular season, or it was 55-0. Sorry,
Mhm.
51-0 last year in the regular season. 58-14 in the playoffs last year.
It's a lot of points.
Lot of points. Colon's going to get the win.
Yes. Yeah, well, let's
There's
get that
no-
out of the way. Let's get that
It's
out.
just whether or not
Are the Redskins gonna score?
are the Redskins going to score. Well, I'm going to go in between here with some of the numbers, and I'm going to say that Colon wins 49-0.
That's a good pick. You know, I thought LMC would score last week. Then we found out their quarterback was out, and the wheels really fell off for them quickly at Colon. I was there on the sidelines, and more than once I looked at Coach Hatton and was like, what in the world are they doing? Like, it just didn't seem like they had the right game. And maybe, not having the quarterback throws that all off. So, long story short here, 58-0 Colon. It's not happening this week.
Mm-hmm. Now, so based on what we have, if all our picks go right, we'd have 3 teams going to the following week.
We'll see.
We'd rather have 5.
Oh, yeah.
And
Good
if we're
problem.
wrong on 2 games,
Yeah.
we're not going to be upset here.
Nope. Be a good problem to have.
Mm-hmm. We like those problems.
So,
So I think that'll end it for playoff week 1.
Yep.
We'll be talking to you
Next
Friday night.
we'll Facebook Live Friday, but I was going to say, provided all 5 of these teams don't lose, we'll be back again next week with our local banter.
Mm-hmm.
And, if you think we stink, or if you'd rather us, talk about something else, whatever, let us know. We're good with constructive criticism.
Mm-hmm.
So, anything else you'd like to add, Tom?
Yeah, I think we're good for this week.
Okay. Volleyball playoffs start next week. Monday we have a handful of teams playing, and then the rest of them play on Wednesday. So
Mhm.
it'll be heating up here real quick.
Cross country.
Cross country state finals. I'll be there. MIS on Saturday morning. God, and you were telling me earlier that's going to be, what do you say? Pink was the radar.
The forecast is pink, which means it could be snow, could be rain,
That is-
could be ice.
does not sound like fun.
No.
So I assume I'll be a little late to the Colon game coming back, but
Mhm. And I'll be
we'll be there all
I'll
the
be
same.
there as well.
Mm-hmm. So hopefully all the exciting plays and stuff I can take pictures of happens after I get there.
Mhm.
We'll see. So good luck to all the runners that made it to MIS. We had a handful of individuals and men and boys. 16th consecutive year they've qualified for the state finals. So that's cool. Bronson
Mhm. girls
girls made it this year as well, as did Marcellus. So very cool.
Mhm.
With that, enough blabbering from me. We'll see you guys Friday at
Various games.
various games. He's going to one, I'm going the other. We'll figure it out. And we'll both be in Colon on Saturday for that. So we'll talk to you guys later.
See ya.